Alright guys, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the gritty and mind-twisting events of Netflix's neo-Western series territory. If you're a fan of complex family sagas, jaw-dropping betrayal, and a dash of the harsh Australian outback, then you're in the right place. Now, right off the bat, let's talk about the main event that kickstarts this entire drama. The mysterious, brutal, and tragic death of Daniel Lawson. Picture this, it's the first episode. We see Daniel on horseback in the middle of this vast, unforgiving desert. But then, wham, something goes terribly wrong. Daniel's horse bolts, he falls, and he's left stranded in the wilderness, completely vulnerable. And what's next? Wild dogs come for him. Wild dogs. It's a gruesome, haunting end that sets the tone for everything that follows, showcasing just how merciless the Australian outback and life on Marianne Station can be. But hang on. Because Daniel's death isn't as straightforward as it seems. There are secrets, betrayals, and hidden agendas that will blow your mind as they unfold. At its core, Territory is a Western that's not just about wrangling cattle, but about wrestling with family dynamics and ambition. The Lawson family is no typical household. They own Marianne Station, the world's largest cattle station. Yeah, we're talking massive. And with such a vast empire comes fierce competition, especially within the family. Colin Lawson, the family patriarch, originally controlled Marianne Station, and his oldest son Graham seems the obvious heir, right? Not so fast. Instead of following the typical tradition, Colin passes the station to Daniel, his younger son, because he believes Daniel has what it takes to handle the empire's weight. When Daniel dies, this throne of sorts is left up for grabs, creating a pressure cooker of rivalries, deception, and, oh yeah, some ruthless power plays that only get juicier as the season progresses. So, who's Emily Lawson? She's Daniel's sister-in-law, and quite the wild card in this family saga. Remember, Daniel's death was no accident. Flashbacks reveal that it was Emily herself who fired the first shot at Daniel, and not in some random fit of rage. No, this was calculated. And here's the kicker. Emily claims she only wanted to scare him. She says she didn't mean for things to go this far. However, after that first shot, she watches Daniel fall from his horse and just leaves him there. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could she just leave him? But, guys, Emily had her reasons. She knew the wild would take care of him, which it did, brutally. This moment shows us the lengths Emily is willing to go to secure her place in the Lawson legacy. She's no innocent bystander in this story. Emily's actions spark a chain reaction that puts everything at risk. Her family, her future, and Marianne Station itself. It's betrayal at its rawest. And it's so intense you can't help but be on the edge of your seat. But let's zoom in on Daniel for a minute. What was he up to that made Emily so desperate? Turns out, Daniel was making plans of his own that would have shattered the Lawson family from the inside. Behind his family's back, Daniel was working with Sandra Kirby, the cunning mining mogul with big plans for Marianne Station. But here's the twist. Sandra doesn't care about cattle. She wants what's under the ground. She's all about uranium. If her plan were to go through, the radiation would destroy the station's land, making it unusable for cattle and eradicating the legacy Colin spent a lifetime building. Daniel wasn't just looking out for himself. He was willing to sacrifice his family's entire heritage for a quick power grab with Sandra's help. The impact of Daniel's secret deal with Sandra is absolutely massive. For Colin, who saw Daniel as the golden boy, the realization that his favored son was plotting to destroy his life's work would be devastating. And imagine the ripple effect this would have across the entire family. Suddenly, everyone is questioning each other's motives. Trust out the window. It's pure chaos. And it all leads back to the tragic, brutal death of Daniel Lawson in the desert. This one event spirals into a family feud that threatens to rip apart the Lawson dynasty. And what about Graham, Colin's eldest son? At first, Graham doesn't have his father's respect, and he's passed over in favor of Daniel. But Graham gets an offer from Sandra too, and unlike Daniel, Graham refuses. Here's where we see a glimpse of redemption for Graham. He knows what's right, and he refuses to let Sandra poison the land his family has fought to protect for generations. This makes Graham a character worth rooting for. Sure, he's got his flaws, but he's not willing to throw everything away for a quick buck or to prove himself in his father's eyes. He stands by his principles, and in Territory, that kind of loyalty is rare. So what does all this mean for Marianne Station? With Daniel gone, Emily scheming, Sandra plotting, and Graham fighting to keep things together, the family's future is at a breaking point. Colin's own outdated ideas about strength and legacy have backfired on him, putting the entire family empire in jeopardy. Marianne Station is more than just a cattle ranch. It's a symbol of the Lawson family's identity. Their blood, sweat, and tears poured into the soil. Now, they're forced to come together, or risk losing everything. So, What are we left with? Family torn apart by betrayal, greed, and ambition, struggling to survive in the unforgiving world of territory. Will they band together? Or will their secrets and schemes finally lead to their downfall? That's the genius of Territory. It's more than just a Western. It's a deep dive into family loyalty, trust, and the devastating costs of ambition. And after watching this, I think we all can agree that sometimes the deadliest battles aren't fought with guns, but with words, secrets, and betrayal. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're as hooked on Territory as I am, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more breakdowns of the latest and greatest shows and movies. Until next time, stay wild.